What's up, guys? It's Lord Both here with another video, and we got a weird one for you today. Because the other day, this game was brought to my attention, and this comes to us from Pirate Nation via Twitter, and he gives a basic rundown of the situation here. He says, new massive Steam drama just dropped. Official Russian military game depicting the invasion of Ukraine released on Steam as Yanarmy Propaganda. It includes real-life historical conflicts. A new game was released yesterday on Steam depicting Russia's invasion of Ukraine, claiming to be officially recommended by the Russian military. The free-to-play Squad 22 ZOV is a tactical shooter from developer SPN Studios and publisher Zarobana Entertainment, I think that's how you say that, and is the only release from either company. That's immediately a little suspicious. The game has been widely reported as Russian propaganda, raising questions on how it's been allowed on Valve's Steam platform. According to the game's Steam description, it allows players to experience the complexities of the 2014 and 2022 to 2024 events through compelling campaigns. In 2014, President Putin signed the Crimea annexation, while in 2022-2024 refers to the country's invasion of Ukraine. And you can see here they got some basic screenshots, tactical shooter stuff. Yeah, this is a weird one. This is an article from Eurogamer that goes a little bit more in depth on the game, and it states, according to the game's Steam description, it allows players to experience the complexities of the 2014 and 2022-2024 events through a compelling campaign. Yeah, we read all that part. In 2014, Putin signed the Crimea annexation. In 2022-2024, invasion of Ukraine. We know all that, right? But they go on to state, while the game purports to be historically accurate through its basis on people's experiences and opinions during specific historical conflicts, that's one way to label them, it has also been officially recommended by the Russian military for the use of basic infantry tactic manual for cadet and Yanarmy training. So yeah, this is a, if it's not Russian backed fully, it's definitely Russian military recommended, right? This game definitely seems to be affiliated with the Russian military and the Russian government in some way. The modern Young Army, or Young Army Cadets National Movement, was set up in 2015 by Putin to encourage young people to join the military. Now it appears officially recommending video games is part of this process. Yeah, win over the young people by promoting video games, right? Because, regular war is just like video games, right? It's definitely like that. As shared on the game's website, Squad 22 ZOV was exhibited at the Army 2024 event. The game's website also boasts special military consultants, including hero of the Russian Federation, Vlad Golovin, not to be confused with Vlad McLovin. That Vlad, I'm sure, is much friendlier and probably just wants to party with chicks and get drunk all the time. But Golovin is the guy who commanded a platoon in the siege of Mariupol. This is included as a playable mission in the game, as well as the Russian spring of 2014. The game also allows players to rescue hostages and capture prisoners, presumably from a Russian perspective, as well as encounter and interact with civilians. Yikes. I'm a little scared to find out what that exactly means. Somehow I don't think they're going to be peaceful interactions with civilians. Incidentally, the developer has also admitted on the Steam page to using AI as a base for work of our 2D artists and later drawn over in order to make them genuine art. Well, yeah, you're making a Russian propaganda game about a modern conflict that's still ongoing. The fact that you're using AI art and then just tracing over it to make it look a little different, to make it, authentic art, is probably the least of people's worries at this point. So yeah, you go on and admit it. Nobody actually cares at this point. Sources told Eurogamer the game presents players as Russian soldiers liberating real-life Ukrainian territories, adding the free-to-play game also includes paid content for specific campaigns. That means Valve is financially enabling a military-affiliated project. Well, that's not necessarily proven. It's promoted by a, what is it? The Yun Army? I don't know if the Yun Army is actually like a government program or if it's an NGO that was promoted or started up by Putin personally. It has no real actual affiliation with the government and they're just promoting the hell out of this game. And maybe the military also really approves of this game. And yes, maybe it does have secret military affiliations, but overtly, it doesn't seem like it has any actual direct government like connections. So military affiliated, legally there's a pretty big gray area there. So to make this assertion that Valve is financially benefiting from also giving the military of Russia some kind of benefit through the sale of add-ons for this game, that's kind of a leap that's yet to be seen. Though there's probably fire where this smoke is, don't get me wrong. The article goes on to state, though it's unclear if Russian military is being indirectly funded through the developer's affiliation with the ongoing organization. Yeah, exactly. I will say though, the fact that this game has so many government affiliated or government adjacent affiliated organizations attached to it and orbiting around it, the fact that it's free to play also makes it highly suspicious. All I'll say is that I would not download this game because I have absolutely no idea what kind of spyware might be on this thing. Listen, if a game was made by the United States government, or had the strong backing of the United States government, the United States military, or if the CIA came out and said that they really approve of this game and back this game and really think you should download it, or if any government did that, Israel, China, I wouldn't do it because I'm pretty sure that game is A, probably propaganda, and B, probably has spyware attached to it. And yes, I know that all governments are probably spying on us, but I like to make it just a little bit difficult for them. I don't like to open the door for them into my computer and make it easy for them, okay? The Steam page itself has become a hub for coordinated propaganda and hate speech. Well, probably yes. I mean, it's a game about the Russian invasion of Ukraine. What did you really think you were gonna find there? Though, to be fair, this is Eurogamer's article. Hate speech to them could be misgendering pronouns. So we'd actually have to take a look into that, which I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not even clicking like the page for that game. That's how wary I am of this thing. The game has a mixed reaction on the platform, and recent reviews are predominantly negative, but older positive reviews include pro-Russian sentiment and disturbing comments. Again, what did you think you were going to find there? A social media account linked on Steam to the game's developer includes a post suggesting Ukraine's refusal to surrender will provide a lot of content to make more missions in our game. That is fucked. Yeah, that's a wild thing to just come out and say. Side note here, any game that's about a conflict or an actual war that has happened, probably not the best idea to make that game about a conflict that's still going on, where we're still burying people. Tends to make people cringe a little bit at the thought. Further, as spotted by Game Informer, the Ukrainian Center for Countering Disinformation has already had its eye on Squad 22 Zov, describing it as, yeah, we can guess what the Ukrainian government Center for Countering Disinformation thinks about this game. Back in 2018, Steam stated its approach to content on its platform was, quote, to allow everything onto the Steam store except for things that we decide are illegal or straight up trolling. Which, I gotta be honest, at this point, that's a little bit weird of a policy to have. Because Steam is available in so many countries, I guess I could see where they have to decide whether it's illegal or not because different countries have different laws, right? You can say certain things in one country, can't say them in a different country. The straight up trolling part is the one that really gets me more than the first. Because I know games that are on Steam right now that I would consider straight up trolling. And I think everybody would consider straight up trolling. Listen, I think the game Ember is hilarious. The fact that Mark Kern didn't trademark the game that he's been developing for almost a decade, and somebody who obviously doesn't like him decided to take it, make a cuck simulator out of it, and also uses the developer name Comes. I feel like that's trolling. There's no real way to deny that that's a troll, even though I think personally the trolling is funny. But it makes you ask the question, what do we consider trolling at that point? Do we have to have a game that's literally called Scam, and somebody buys it for whatever price, and it's just a game that's a black screen? Is that considered trolling at that point? Is that the only thing that's considered trolling? Because I'm a little confused at what's considered trolling at this point on Steam. Anyway, that's the trolling rant over. Valve has recently removed some controversial games from its Steam platform, including a game which described itself as addressing the Israel-Palestine conflict from a Palestinian perspective, that was removed from sale in the UK following demands by the UK's counter-terrorism unit. Yes, that is the Knights of Al-Aqsa whatever mosque thing. I covered that in a video actually on this channel months and months ago. Again, that game didn't seem like it had any actual ties to such terrorist organizations, but it definitely didn't seem to denounce them in any way. And this game definitely promotes the Russian military and may or may not have attachments to government organizations or NGOs that are affiliated with the government of Russia. And it's all a little bit weird and untrustworthy. The point is that exactly what specific ties does this game have to the actual government or government wings of Russia? Because if it actually does have connections to the government of Russia and it's selling DLC and Valve is making a cut of those sales, then Valve is funding the Russian government a little bit and potentially the Russian military. And that would be not good. Basically, at the very least, this is kind of a very bad look for Valve. At the worst case, this might actually end them up in a little bit of legal hot water if they don't take care of it soon. As for the game itself, with all of the government or government-affiliated organizations orbiting around it, I wouldn't touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. It definitely seems like propaganda. It almost certainly has some kind of spyware or something attached to it that as a US citizen, I would not trust. And yeah, I wouldn't touch this game. But those are just my thoughts on all this. If you have your own thoughts, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you like this video, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, I appreciate you watching all of it, and we'll talk to you again later.